Shalom. Once again making a short video and taking my stimulus from the recently acquired Jewish Study Bible published by Oxford University Press, which I enjoy reading with a weekly parsha and find cause sometimes to comment on some of their remarks. Now, the story, this week's parsha, Miketz, is the famous story of Joseph and his brothers, and it's almost the climax where Joseph, after having planted his silver goblet in the satchel of his younger brother Benjamin, and they, of course, the brothers don't know this, has them pursued and arrested, and confronts them with having stolen his goblet. Now, when the Egyptian official who arrests the brothers catches them, and when they're brought before Joseph, Joseph says that he uses this cup is used, this goblet is used for divination. Nachesh isha shakamoni. Someone like me practices divination. And the Oxford Study Bible sees fit to comment here that in contrast to other passages in the Torah, divination, fortune-telling, is not here condemned. In other words, the Torah just mentions offhandedly that Joseph practices divination using this silver goblet, and doesn't say any remark, make judgment call of any kind, indicating that there's some difference of attitude here. And I think they've really missed a major point in the subtext of this narrative, which I think should be really very clear and emphasized over and over again today. Now, what is this subtext? Well, if you pay attention earlier in the story, when the brothers come and Joseph, welcomes them and is very glad to see them, gives no indication that there's any more problems, and he invites them to dinner in his house. And when they come in, there's a seating arrangement, and they've all been seated according to their age. The 11 brothers are seated from Reuben on down to Benjamin in the order of their age, and they are amazed. They are totally taken aback by this fact. Joseph must be a wizard, must have some divine insight. But we, the reader, know that it's all because Joseph, he's their brother. That's how he knows how to cite them in their order. So anyone who's paying attention closely to the text and the subtext and all the things that come in between will say, hey, here's a real strong argument against all these so-called holy men and people with, a third eye in the middle of their head, or who can see, deep into our souls and see things that ordinary people can't see, and all this nonsense that goes on, unfortunately, still in the Jewish community. And it's all because these people, to the extent that they can make, really correct predictions or correct analyses, have an independent source of knowledge that we're just not aware of. Joseph knew how to seat them in the order of their birth, and he did that. And since they didn't know that he was their brother, they were amazed. So they were stupefied. So I think that, this is an important message here. It's, you don't need to make any remarks about the goblet and divining by means of it. Joseph was just telling him, this is a tool of the trade. As a ruler of Egypt, I'm supposed to have magical properties and have all sorts of, insight into hidden knowledge other people have. And it's just a prop, my goblet. But we see that in the things that Joseph does that really, show real knowledge of things that the audience did not expect him to know. It's a very simple explanation. So I think without having to make an explicit judgment call, Joseph, practiced divination and, no, that's not the right thing to do. You're not supposed to do that. It makes a much more powerful statement. So we can see that the type of secret knowledge, hidden knowledge that Joseph has, seeing deeply into the souls of these 11 people and knowing how to seat them in the order of their birth, is a very simple, rational, clear explanation. And I think this is something we should all take to heart and consider when we are confronted by some of these spiritualists and people with special powers that through our day go among us peddling their wares.